making it possible for me to receive a degree from here. In 2016, my father passed away in Ghana. About a week before I left for Ghana to bury my father, I showed up here at the Harvard Graduate School of Design. I met professors such as Rosetta Alkin, Pierre Belanger, and Bobby Petrisco. I spoke with the staff, particularly Jonas Nalian. I spoke about where I'd come from, about my interests in solving social and environmental issues through design, about my interest in the broader issues of the world, of Africa, of climate change, of urbanization. They encouraged me to apply. A week later, I left for Ghana to bury my father. I returned to the United States with barely about a month before the admissions deadline. But I scrambled, and I was able to put my applications together and successfully submitted it. 3 months later, I got the news that I'd been accepted. I was excited to bounce back from the loss of my father. Then came the fall of 2017. I arrived here at the Harvard Graduate School of Design in this very Piper auditorium. I was brimming with enthusiasm to start the Master's in Design Studies. You know, my presence here at the Harvard Graduate School of Design is a miracle. Because growing up in Ghana, I don't think many people would have given me the chance to come very far. I grew up in a very small rural town in Ghana called Yeji. And as a young man, I worried about so many things. There was no running water. So every morning, I would wake up in the morning and walk about 3 miles to draw water from the Volta Lake. I'd carry the water on my head in a plastic or aluminum buckets. You know, when you're young, you're thinking about not getting bald. I would try to protect my head with folded towels in order not to get bald from the weight of the water. So I would do that sometimes 3 or 4 times back and forth. In Yeji, where I grew up, there was no electricity. But I enjoyed studying with kerosene lanterns in the evenings. I did my first 9 years of school in Yeji. When I graduated, I left Yeji for Adidoma, which is about 300 miles from the north of Ghana where I grew up. You know, when I was growing up in Ghana, along the Volta Lake, I would often see all these white people crossing the river, crossing the lake on a ferry. And I would often wonder, why do they have gray hair, even though they look so young? You know, it wasn't until I moved to the United States that I actually realized there was a kind of hair called blonde. And when I was growing up, I thought it was gray hair. So I moved to Adidoma Secondary School where I did my high school. High schools weren't free at the time. So if your parents didn't have a lot of money, you couldn't go to a good one. At my high school, we didn't have enough teachers. We didn't have enough books. We didn't have enough classrooms. I remember very vividly when I emerged as one of the very best students in the school district, and I was invited to an award ceremony, and my shoes were too torn. My shorts were not fit for the second occasion, so I had to borrow friends. I would often sleep on mats that barely separated my body from the floor, and my body would respond with pain. It was hard. It was just by dint of hard work and the sheer grace of God that I was one of the very few students to emerge out of that place to the University of Ghana, where despite all the odds and difficulties, I was one of the very few students to emerge emerge to graduate with first class honors, which is whatever you call it here, cum laude, magna cum laude, summa cum laude. I don't know what the name is. But to go from such a humble beginning to Harvard GSD was made possible by your generous contributions. Contributions that allow students like myself from the forgotten corners of the world to come here and to see hope. Hope of a GSD education. Hope of a Harvard education. Hope of a world-class education. It is a duty that you have discharged with distinction, and I want to encourage you to continue to do so. Here at the GSD, I've had the opportunity, even though I don't come from a quintessential design background, I must say that I actually struggled in the first year with all these like Rhino and Illustrator and all these things. I'm like, I'm a social scientist. I don't understand any of these. But I have some very good friends, particularly Francisco Colom, that I've built a very solid relationship with as I've been here. I've learned about the role of design in social change, but beyond that, I've also had the opportunity to take classes at the Kennedy School, at the School of Engineering, at the School of Education, at the School of Public Health. You know, all these have sort of helped me to sort of broaden my horizon and to begin to think about what my presence here actually meant. As a result of that, my colleague and I, Francisco Colom, which I met right here at the Harvard Graduate School of Design, began to think about how we can use our presence here to solve social problems. So we began to do research about a problem that both of us are very passionate about, and that is youth unemployment, which is very prevalent on the African continent. Imagine growing up in Ghana. Your parents told you about the value of education. They told you to work hard to get a university degree. So, you listened. You worked hard. You went to the university. You got your degree. Only to realize that the hope, the job, that the education was supposed to get you didn't exist. Your dreams had crashed. This is the fate of many young people in Ghana. Every year, about 300,000 people graduate from universities in Ghana. And only about 30,000 of them are able to get jobs within the first year of graduation. An astonishing 270,000 sometimes have to wait for as long as 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years, and 6 years to get jobs. And it is heartbreaking. You know, when I think very deeply about it, I often wonder that if I hadn't won the green card lottery that actually guaranteed permanent residence in the US over a decade ago, maybe I too would be wallowing in a similar problem. I too would be unemployed in Ghana. It is by virtue of that my colleague Francisco Colom and I worked tirelessly to begin to collect data and to go through the nitty-gritty of the causes of the problem. And then we decided that maybe if we set up an innovation lab in Accra that would serve as a place, that would serve as an accelerator or an incubator for young people, where we would equip them with the mentorship, entrepreneurship skills, and support they need, maybe they could create their own jobs. Maybe they don't have to depend on the device of government. It is against this background that we did exactly that. You know, it is by virtue of your generosity that I can come here, that I can even stand here. I want to invite you, in whatever shape or form, to give hope to a lot of young people in Ghana. Young people who are hopeless, who are desperate, who don't know what the future holds for them. Because I think it has fallen to us to respond to the problems of the 21st century. It was Abraham Lincoln who once said, "Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." On May the 30th, when I walk and my name is pronounced McLean Abiodun Sarbah, my father will not be there. But I'm sure that because of your generous contributions, because of your kindness, because of what you have done, my father will look up from heaven and he will be proud. I want to encourage you to continue to give to the GST and to the Harvard community so that students like me can come here and believe that we can get the education that will give us the wherewithal, the expertise, the skills, the training to go out there and change the world. Thank you.